Welcome to Woman Power. I'm your host, Lisa Diane Wedgeworth. Joining me today are three commissioners from the Commission on the Status of Women: Diane Miller, Jenny Vazquez-Newsum, and Sylvia Ghazarian, who is currently the chair. I'm sure there are folks out there who didn't know the Commission on the Status of Women existed. How and when did it start? And what was happening culturally, socially, and politically that warranted starting such a commission?
Yeah, so the commission started in 1981, and thinking back to that time, without guidelines or structure, it's challenging to start something at that stage. So identifying a purpose and a mission and identifying the right women to join took some time, but once it got it rolling, it really took off from there.
Why was it mandated?
It was mandated because under City Council's city charter, there is a requirement of gender equity being looked at on an ongoing basis within the city. And so the reasoning behind starting this commission as well was that City Council was aware that there were more women and girls in the population and the demographic in Santa Monica. And they also recognized that traditional roles and some of the other challenges that women were facing were becoming more predominant here in this city. So therefore, the commission was started in order to address those issues and be able to advise City Council.
Oh, it makes total sense. That's excellent. Was there ever a commission on the status of men, and would such a commission be necessary?
Oh, let me take that one, if I may.
Sure.
Okay. Having 5 husbands, I have great expertise in this area. But anyhow, truly, if there was a need, a proven need for underprivileged, underserved, benefited men, then there would be a need for that commission, and frankly, the Women's Commission would probably launch it.
Right.
But right now, the data-driven, that is, it's still women across the planet that require the boost for equality.
Right, and that's understandable. The early Women's Commission laid the foundation for the work that's taking place today. What are some of the achievements of the early Women's Commission?
Well, one of the things that transpired once the commission was established was as the years went on, we started collaborating with local partners. And one of the aspects that happened was women in the city were interested in doing things together. So the Organization for Women Leaders was created. And from that, we started honoring and celebrating Women's History Month as well.
And the OWL Group is a partner with the Chamber of Commerce. And we've watched how the numbers grow of women-owned businesses. So helping them move up is what we do in collaboration besides the celebration.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. Additionally to that, the accomplishments of the commission early on inspired City TV to produce a series of shows as well on the work. And so that just kind of shows of the impact that was being made and then kind of the exposure that we
And time for us to be back on camera.
Right. And talk to us about Rosie's Girls.
Yes, so Rosie's Girls, early on we partnered with Rosie's Girls to expose and mentor the girls from that organization to city governance and kind of those interested in entering public life. And so we've maintained that partnership all throughout for the past few years.
And I do want to say that during my time as a commissioner and as chair, through Rosie's Girls, we have mentored 8 girls, all of which have gone on to college, and now 2 have graduated.
Oh, excellent.
And their trajectory has been inspired by working with the commission and all of the different aspects that each person on our commission brought.
And
to
Rosie's
them.
Girls is specifically for girls that are interested in the government, right? Working in the government in some capacity?
Yes. In addition, by the way, we are part of the Public Policy Institute for the college, and we get experiential learning students every quarter.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
We get to plug them into different projects to help us, like Women's History Month, et cetera. So and then as they go on, they continue to hold a relationship with some of us going forward, like you have with, what's her name?
Ariana?
Ariana, yes. Okay, which really is personally rewarding.
All right. Oh, that's beautiful.
They do continue reaching back out to us. For example, Ariana was interested in the tech industry, which is, again, another area where women and girls are just not at the same level. And, you know, through mentoring her, she was challenged and was trying to decide whether or not she was going to pursue that. And I'm pleased to say that she's continuing down that trajectory. And I continued to meet with her and to call her and to offer my advice as she needs it.
And that's wonderful. And mentoring is such an important aspect of personal development. I've benefited from it. Anyway, I think mentoring from grade school to adulthood is important in life and changing.
You know, the commission was the Commission on the Status of Women. It has been we've added and helped add, and girls. So also, I think it's important that we pass the torch, and so let's educate them to take the torch, you know.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back to Woman Power. Let's continue our conversation and talk about current initiatives with the commissioners. There are issues that are important to each of you. What are some of those issues that you're currently working on?
Well, Lisa, we are pleased to say that we worked with the city and city council on a groundbreaking ordinance for hotel workers. And it took effect this month, January. And what it was that we worked with Unite Here 11, as well as the hotel workers, as well as the hotels, and came to city council to discuss the fact that there needs to be better protections for hotel workers here in Santa Monica, particularly in regards to the fact that many hotel workers work in isolation. And so with that said, there is unfortunately a lot of incidences of sexual harassment and assault. And so what we did was we knew this was important for the city, particularly since we are a resort city and we have a number of hotels here and a tremendous amount of hotel workers. So we went to city council and we presented a case that hotel workers needed to be protected against sexual assault and harassment, as well as being able to provide humane workloads for them. In addition, we felt that it was necessary for hotel workers to get training on retaliation, as well as sexual assault and harassment and human trafficking, because it does exist, unfortunately. And we were pleased that City Council embraced all three of those, and we worked together to put together that ordinance. However, City Council added an additional aspect to it, which was hotel worker retention. Because a lot of hotels go through acquisitions here in the city, it was important for the city to also recognize that it's important for hotel workers to be able to keep their jobs. So they added that aspect, and that aspect actually took effect in October of last year.
That's wonderful.
As we all know, the majority of hotel workers are women.
Yes.
And so what I really like is one of the aspects of it is instant notification of an incident occurring, and many of the hotels will have actual panic buttons. So at the moment, and others will have some kind of response on it. But the union came to us because they were having difficulty getting this moved forward. So it was really because of the commission that this ordinance, and in Santa Monica, ordinances are laws. We're a sovereign city. So this is one of our most important accomplishments.
Well, I think it's great, and it's evidence of the work that you're doing and why the commission is so important. And I find this ordinance really fascinating because hotel workers are generally considered an invisible population, right? And to prioritize their well-being is an important move for us all, but specifically the city of Santa Monica. And that was, I had an additional question that you answered, and I'm glad that you did, about the retention of hotel workers, that so many hotels over time change ownership, so to retain those workers is extremely important.
I'm glad you mentioned well-being, because Santa Monica won the Bloomberg grant that was put across the country, and we were the city that won it in creating a well-being program and project. So this comes under that umbrella also of well-being. So, and as goes Santa Monica, so can go California, and this now will go out throughout the country. And since we mention it here because of your show also, people are say, oh my God, you can actually get a law done in your city.
Yeah,
so we did that first.
Oh, that's wonderful. So Diane, what is an issue that's near and dear to you?
Oh, my list. But anyhow, I think getting out the vote campaign is so important to me. I think being part of the electoral process is and women are 63% of the vote. Yeah. So last year we did a pilot project on getting everybody registered. We were even in all the schools, middle school, high school, and whatever. Anyone 17, getting them ready for 18. So we did that for the midterms. We were very successful. So now the pilot program that we're doing currently is, as I said earlier, 5 women, 5 by 5 by 5 to extend the number of women, so that, and then after we do the primaries, we'll move then to to November. And then linking back to see how all our programs connect also? Yeah. Since we're looking for a global connection in the country to connect all the commissions, what we get to do, we get to showcase to all of them so they may use some of the tools and techniques we develop. So we have a major turnout.
Oh, that's excellent. Now I know that, and we've talked about the mentorship program. What are some additional ways that you might inspire young girls that are not of voting age to participate?
Well, because we, for instance, like we were part of the public, Public Program Institute, Public Policy Program, Act 3, Public Policy Institute of Santa Monica College. We get experiential learning students almost every semester.
Oh, great.
So we get to enroll them in all the different projects that we're doing, and they develop skills and talents they're not going to get in the curriculum in school.
Right.
They get it from and working with the community. I have some that finished their term last year, and they're feeding the homeless with me every Sunday.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So they continue on a path of philanthropy. We get to ignite their passion
I love
for
that,
being.
igniting passion.
Yes.
That's fabulous.
Yes.
So tell me a bit about the Commission's relationship with Mount St. Mary's and the work you're doing together.
Okay, that's a great question, Lisa. One of the things that we put in our work plan was to put together a new report on the status of women and girls here in Santa Monica. And the reason behind that was that the last report that we did was in 2015. And since that time, a lot has changed within the city, including an increased amount of women and girls living in the city. And Mount St. Mary's was the perfect fit because they have done the report for the California Commission, as well as the Los Angeles Commission, as well as the Pasadena Commission. So they have specific staff and researchers who are readily able to put the report together. And we're pleased to say that we have just produced our report, and it will be released this month.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we will also be presenting it to City Council on February 25th to launch off our reception and Women's History Month.
Oh, that's great. And when the time comes, once it's posted, we'll make sure we let everyone know. I did have the wonderful opportunity of downloading the previous report. And so it's really, really interesting. And March is upon us. So I know there's some interesting events happening.
God, yes.
What can you share with us about what's happening?
Well, this is our 10th year doing the Women's History Month. Celebrate. And by the way, this is the first year that prior to it, like mid-February, we're going to add photography for Black History Month in City Hall in the main lobby.
Oh, that's
and
great.
that'll segue into our Women's History Month.
Wonderful.
And we have partners. I think we have around 30 to 40 partners every year. Organizations that have their own, the library, the graveyard, absolutely, with all the headstones of famous women that have been there.
Oh, wow.
So check the website for that because those are fabulous. And we have a kickoff event with the proclamation with City Council. And what date is that?
February 25th.
February 25th. We'll make sure that we
And
have
but
that
for
on the calendar.
Women's History Month proclamation. Yep.
Thank you,
Is
ladies,
that what
so
it is?
much, and
Okay.
we'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back. Let's take a peek at what the Commission is bringing to the future. How can we continue to inspire and empower women and girls in these challenging times? Jenny?
That's a great question. For the Commission, a continued priority is mentoring young women in the city. So we work with Santa Monica high school students as well as Santa Monica college students to expose them to the work of the Commission, but then also city governance generally, and provide them with professional and educational support as they navigate their own career trajectories. So.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And we're really excited because these past 2 years we've been mentoring a girl from Santa Monica High School who actually wants to be an FBI agent just completed the Explorer program with the police department and is on the trajectory to do what she wants to do.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And we're super excited.
That's
Yes.
excellent. Diane, I know that you're interested in linking national commissions. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
I could do 2 weeks on this, so I'll make it very short if I can. It has been my dream to have a national women's voice. We're 63% of the vote, and it's scattered. If we coalesce, we can help move the needle energetically. So Sylvia is now treasurer of the California Commission on Women, and we've already made inroads into connecting there to the national. So hopefully before the voting this year, we will be able to have for a linkage and then have that kind of power in the majority of the cities to get out the vote and vote. So my dream is now coming true.
Excellent.
Yes.
And speaking about getting out the vote, Jenny?
Right. Yes. So another continued priority, particularly in this election year, is continuing our momentum with what we're doing with the primaries to get out the vote, and continuing that through November, where we are focusing on voter engagement, voter education, and voter registration as priorities, particularly for women in our communities that can garner a lot of support from each other and their families to get out the vote.
Wonderful.
Can I add something
Yes.
to that quick? Because somehow I'm confused on the order and what we decided. But we have a pilot project going with getting 5 of the volunteers from the community that want to help us with the vote campaign.
Oh, excellent.
And what we're asking them to do is they will promise to get everyone in their family registered and voting in the primaries, and then they'll get 5 of their friends for coffee and ask them to do the same. So 5 by 5 by 5
Oh, I love it.
is our program then to build capacity in the voting numbers.
Right. It helps grow the
Absolutely,
commission.
grow
Yeah.
it, yes.
Sylvia,
Yes.
what are some of the recommendations that the report that you're working with Mount St. Mary's University,
Correct.
and they create this empirical data?
Right. And
Can we?
so, sure. And so we worked with Mount St. Mary's University and their researchers to compile data specific to Santa Monica related to women and girls. And we had done a report in 2015. However, because of our mandate with our CDAO resolution, which is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, we are mandated by that resolution to continue to work with the city and city council on issues that are presented based on the reporting that's done from the data. And what we learned is that there are certain things that have been illuminated as positive, one of which is that women businesses here in Santa Monica have gone up by 6%.
Oh, great.
Which is excellent. And as you know, the population in Santa Monica is predominantly women. I believe it's 53%. Some of the areas that are still a challenge for us is that we are working on sort of putting forth the plan in regards to homelessness in women. That has increased to 23%, unfortunately. So those are 2 highlights of what we have in the report. And if people want more information, obviously, they could come to our commission meeting and or go online to read more information.
That's wonderful, and it's great to hear that the numbers for women entrepreneurs are increasing.
So because of this great program that really Sylvia did bring for us to get started with, we then get to take the data and we get to see where we want to advocate to City Council. There's programs or projects, that becomes a basis for our work plan for next year also.
Okay. And Diane, would you like to please share with us a little bit more about the ERA advocacy?
Oh, God. Be still my heart. Okay, so as you all know, we got the vote in 1920, whatever, this is the 100-year anniversary this year. And in 1972, Congress and the President authorized that the ERA, Equal Rights Amendment, be ratified to the Constitution, which gives us real power then legally. The part of ratification process is you need 38 states. It was 1972. This is 2020. We have 1 more state to go. Okay?
I love it. That's
so
great.
Virginia looks like our target state. One of the reasons to connect all the commissions is to get the advocacy around the country to say, ratify now.
And that's what we want to do, ratify now, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. And thank you to everyone in the audience who made time to join our conversation today. It has been such a pleasure to host strong role models for young women in our community. Be sure and join us next time as we continue to celebrate Santa Monica women on Woman Power.
Thank you.
It's really been impressive.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
So-
We'll come back.
I'd love to have you.
There's so much more to share.